loved it so much. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. And the yearning was top tier. Because this is an epic lineup. Hello, and welcome back to my actual favorite video to film, TBR Jar Picks My Reads. I'm so excited to see what we end up picking for the month of November. I have a massive update for you guys on the books that I ended up reading in October, which was literally so much more than we pulled for last month's video, and I am shocked. I think I've said this every month so far, but this is actually the most that I have read in a month. What in October? It has been an incredible month of reading and I'm still going strong. Still have a few days left in October and I'm in the middle of reading a couple of books still. So let's chat the update. I will pop up the picture of the final books that we ended up choosing for the month of October. And as of right now, I have read 13 books, and actually almost every single book that we pulled for this month. The only ones that I haven't gotten to yet are the two behind me, but I have decided that I'm not going to read Catabasis yet. I'm either going to read it at the end of November or the beginning of December because I'm still waiting on my Libby audio to come through, and I think it's about 3 to 4 more weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for that. That feels right, but I'm still hoping to get to Nightweaver by R.M. Gray this week. I'm actually in the middle of filming a reading vlog right now to finish out the month, so I have high hopes that I will still get to my pirate romance. Other than that, I'm currently reading Wild Reverence and I am devouring this. I'm eating it up. I'm hoping to finish it literally in 2 days. Started it today, hoping to finish it tomorrow. I have my actual stunning copy, but it's nicely put away right now, so I'm not even gonna pull that out. So those are the current reads. I'm actually even hoping to possibly get in one more spooky read this week, but again, that's shooting for the stars. I do have a busy work week and a lot of editing to do, but we're for sure getting to Wild Reverence. And we're gonna kind of do this rapid style so that we can get to the TBR jar, but I did end up starting the month finishing off Mile High like we had discussed, and I rated this 4.25 stars. I really am enjoying the Windy City series. I'm really enjoying her writing, and I think I've recently learned that her name's actually pronounced Liz Tomforty, which I did not know, so I will begin to pronounce it that way going forward. I will also pop up my rating on Fable here and the thoughts. I loved this more than I thought I would, considering everybody said the first book is not the best in this series. The panic attack representation was nice to see on the page, as well as the discussions of self-love and self-worth despite your body size. I'm excited to continue this series. I really appreciated the representation. I really liked these characters. I don't know what's not to love about this book. I thought it was a very well done romance. I was not loving the male main character out of the gate, but it all came together very beautifully and I ended up really enjoying it. I then read Anatomy of a Love Story by Dana Schwartz and I rated this one 4.5 stars. This story was amazing, guys. Such a gothic good time. Honestly, wasn't even sure what I was expecting from this book and it delivered. It delivered. I have picked up the second book and that is one of the books that I'm hoping to get to this month because I kind of just want to eat it up. I was left on a cliffhanger. I ended up saying, wow, Dana Schwartz really transports you to another time. This book is gothic, twisty, unexpected, and left me with my jaw on the floor. I finished and immediately placed an order to pick up the second book. Not to mention the romance is perfection. I loved it, guys. I ate it up. I ate it up. So I'm thinking that we're just going to add the second book to the TBR, but we'll get there. And then I ended up veering from the TBR and picking up A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. This is a book that I was supposed to read last October. This is one of my favorite authors, and my husband and I just ended up doing a buddy read, and we loved it so much. It was so good to be back in T. Kingfisher's odd worlds with her fun characters. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I said T. Kingfisher can do no wrong. This woman's creative, quirky, and unpredictable. I would read her grocery list and be inspired. And it's true. I really would. I don't think that she writes a bad story. If you are wanting something odd, twisty, unpredictable, unexpected, creepy, and quick, like eat it up in one sitting quick, pick that book up. And the same with the next one. My husband and I ended up doing a buddy read on What Stalks the Deep. That is the third book in her What Moves the Dead series. That's not the name of the series, but it's the third book in that series that came out this month, and we were like, we need to read it because we are absolutely obsessed with Alex Easton, the main character. I ended up rating this one 4 stars. Another creepy, twisted adventure for Alex Easton and their compadre Denton. T. Kingfisher is the queen of short, gripping, eerie tales that will leave you locked in and holding your breath. When I tell you that trilogy, and I'm hoping there's one more, I really am, is the epitome of an odd roller coaster good time. You will think you know what's going on. You have no idea. She's going to veer you in some crazy direction. I promise you have no idea. And Alex Easton, the main character, is so much fun. They have this personality that just has you laughing. They're smartass, they're funny, but they're such a good friend, and they will show up for their people. If you want a little trilogy that you can eat up as well, I think each book's like 150 to 180 pages. That's a really, really good one to read for the fall or the winter. It's a good time. And again, I'm really hoping she's gonna give us one more because I'm not ready to let go of Alex yet. And then I also continued to veer off and read Tourist Season by Brynne Weaver. That's another one that came out this month that I absolutely had to pick up and I could not put off because Brynne Weaver is one of my all-time favorite authors right now. I absolutely loved the Ruinous Love trilogy, and I feel like she can do no wrong. And this is the first book in the Seasons of Carnage trilogy, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I cannot wait for the rest of the books to come out. This book was so fun. I gave it a 4.5, and I feel like it's just unique. It's this serial killer, twisty, good time, and the banter, the friendships, the relationships, it's good. Found family, it's good. I said I absolutely love this. I thought after the Ruinous Love trilogy, I would never feel this kind of giddy again, but I could happily report that I was wrong. Brynne Weaver did it again. Tourist Season will have you kicking your feet, giggling, falling in love with morally gray characters, and questioning your own morality in the best way. I can't wait to get more of the Seasons of Carnage. These characters were perfection. I loved it so much, guys, so much. And then we went back to the TBR and I read The Right Move. This is the second book in the Windy City series by Liz Tomforty, and 5 stars. 5 stars. This couple is going to be so hard to beat. This is the perfect romance. Like, there was nothing in this romance that was not perfect. The characters, obsessed. The female main character, obsessed. I think she wants you to kind of question whether or not you're going to like the male main characters in the beginning, but you like them. And you like him. This male main character was the brother of the female main character in the first book, and this was a delicious good time. Delicious good time. I said this is the perfect romance book. These characters are so relatable. I felt their pain and their growth on a personal level. Liz Tomforty does an excellent job at creating a romance story that will have you feeling everything. Her writing is easy to digest and bingeable, and I can't wait to continue this series. And this is another one we're just going to add the third one in this month because we have to continue. This is a series that I honestly would prefer to just sit down and like read in a week because it's that good and I want to be immersed in the world. And then sticking to the TBR, I then read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I gave this one a 3.75. I enjoyed this, not as much as everybody else. A lot of people gave this 5 stars, and I just felt like it lacked something for me. I needed more. I needed either 200 more pages or a whole nother book. I just needed more of this couple. I am still trying to come to terms with whether or not Ali Hazelwood is a romance author that I absolutely love. I have a lot of her books on my shelf. A lot. So I'm going to continue to read them, and obviously I will gather a more well-rounded opinion of that, but it was a good time. I did enjoy it. I said this was a fun read. I could have used a bit more plot, but I found myself giggling and I really enjoyed the FMC. And then I will kind of skip ahead because in tandem with that, I ended up reading Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and this is the second book in that series. I don't know if there's going to be more. I don't know if it's just a duology. I haven't really looked into it, but I gave this one 4 stars. I did enjoy this one more. I felt a little bit more connected to the characters, but again, the same. I felt like I lacked something, whether it was just like a deeper connection to the characters, like when they come together finally, you know, I didn't feel that attachment. I didn't get it. I wasn't like emotional about it, if that makes sense. It was a good time. The female main character was a hoot. I absolutely loved her personality, just like I loved her best friend's personality in the first book. This male main character I really, really liked a lot, and it was a good time. I would recommend it. I said this was a good time. The characters were lovable, and the banter between the MMC and the FMC was top tier. I really enjoy the FMCs that Allie writes, and this book was just an overall fun time. So if you're looking for something that's paranormal, low stakes, gonna give you your happy ending, going to be very spicy, you might really enjoy these. I then read The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This was on the TBR, and I rated this 5 stars, guys. 5 stars. When it comes to cozy fantasy, this is the best one I've ever read. This is the epitome of cozy fantasy. This is what I'm looking for when I look for a cozy fantasy. This was everything. I said, wow, this book was a warm hug. Sarah Beth Durst is the next Diana Wynne Jones. Her characters are captivating and will stay with you long after you close the book. Her writing is nothing short of magical. She is the ideal cozy fantasy author. She beautifully captivated the magic and beauty of found family, friendships, and trusting others with your whole heart, and her diverse representation was absolutely stunning. This is the kind of book that you pick up on a rainy day, you make a cup of tea, you cozy up on the couch with a nice ambiance, some blankets, your favorite stuffed animals, and you just immerse yourself. It was so good. This is another one that we're just going to put the second book on the TBR for the month because I need to get back into that world and I want to just remain in it. I don't want to wait too long before I pick the next one up, you know? And then veering off again, we read Soul Searching by Lila Sage. Again, another go-to author for me. The Rebel Blue Ranch series is God tier to me. God tier. So I absolutely needed to read this one when it came out this month, and I gave this one 5 stars, guys. Another 5-star romance. There is nothing about this romance that wasn't perfection. It was paranormal, it was twisty, it was different, very different than Rebel Blue Ranch, but also similar in many ways. Like, I feel like you get to see a lot of Lila's heart in her books and a lot of where she came from, and I think that's really beautiful. I think it's different and I think it's beautiful. She's giving us settings that I feel like I haven't really read in any books and make me want to go to places in the United States that I never thought I would even want to go to. I really enjoyed this one. The romance was top tier. The male main character was absolutely God tier. I mean, it doesn't get much better than him, in my opinion. This was a good time. If you want a romance that's just bingeable, you're just gonna eat up, pick this one up. And then continuing to veer off, I ended up reading Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I read this with my cousin book club because the movie just came out this weekend and we actually are gonna go and see it together. So I'm really excited for that. I gave this one 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite Colleen Hoover book, but it was very well done. I'm not a Colleen Hoover hater. There's not a book by her that I haven't read and enjoyed. I feel like she does romance well. I feel like she's lived lives and she has tales to tell, and I can see that in her writing, and I really do enjoy it. I said, I haven't read a Colleen Hoover book that I did not enjoy. She just put something in her books that do it for me. I love the themes of grief, love, healing, and family relationship, and the way that Colleen Hoover portrays the complexities of being human. And I do feel like that is something that a lot of people like gripe about when it comes to Colleen Hoover, and I think you have to like live some lives. I think you have to like look at things from a different perspective than like the bubble that you live in. That makes sense. That's how I feel about her writing. Nothing she's written has ever offended me or thrown a curveball at me. I actually feel like everything is pretty well done and relatable, and I think she's a very good romance author to start your reading journey out with, and that's what I did. And I mean, I fell in love with reading again thanks to her, so no complaints from me. This one was very good, and I'm excited to watch this one in theaters. Just trigger warning, grief, so you know, read your triggers on that one for sure because it is heavy. And then last, I did read Powerless, which was on our TBR, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. The way that I am so happy to say that I finally read Powerless, guys, is ridiculous. This book has been on my TBR for far too long. Far too long. So I have the novella and the second book on the TBR for the next month, and I'll show you guys that stack here in a second. I ended up saying Lauren Roberts' writing is so beautiful. I couldn't put this book down. Kai is a poet, and the yearning was top tier. I loved it. That YA yearning, guys, there's nothing like YA yearning. And Kai, oh my gosh, the male main character, I literally highlighted and tabbed so much in that book, so much. It was 500 pages of absolute delicious yearning. I loved it. And then it left me on a cliffhanger, a very unexpected, tragic cliffhanger. So we can't wait. We have to go into Reckless. Like, we have to. There's just simply no way that we can wait. So that's the October wrap up. What a month. What a month, honestly. Without further ado though, let's get into the TBR jar. Okay, so before we pull from the stack, I am definitely going to add Powerful. This is a powerless story. It's supposed to be a novella, I thought, but it's like over 200 pages. And then Reckless, the next book in the series, just because we got to continue. And then the next book in the Windy City series, which I'll be reading on my Kindle. I was thinking also of doing The Enchanted Greenhouse, which I thought is like the second book to the Spell Shop, but actually it just is its own story. So I don't necessarily think we need to continue that on like a series. So let's see, with having read like what, 15 books this month, which is insane, I think we should probably pull 6 from the jar. This will be 9, and then that will leave me with a little bit of leeway for doing like whatever in the world I want to do. If I want to do like a themed reading vlog or something like that. So 6, let's see. I did add a few prompts to this. We'll see if we pull something new this time. All right, guys, I'm always nervous. I'm always nervous. Open it up towards y'all. A person's name in the title. Okay, I have my cart behind me. Let's see what we can find. All right, I took everything off the cart so that I can kind of turn it around because it's very heavy with the books on top. The books on top are just decor. So I took that off and started turning it, and I was like, wait a minute. No, I have the perfect book. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is a historical fiction. The movie does come out the end of November, I think November 27th. So I definitely want to read this one this month. This was on my radar. It's perfect. It's under 300 pages. It's also just going to be good to kind of switch things up and throw in a historical fiction. I have been itching to read a historical fiction. I believe this follows William Shakespeare actually and his wife Agnes as they have to deal with their son that becomes ill, and it's just supposed to be a very emotional, very gripping story. I'm very excited to read this. If you've read it, let me know. So that's our first pick, a book with a person's name in the title. Let's go on to the next one. I actually think we pulled that one last month, but I didn't have one, so. An audiobook. Okay, perfect. I have a few purchased audiobooks. One of them is Alchemized, but I want to save Alchemized for December for some reason. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I really do. I have a couple of audio accounts. One of them is Andrew's. He purchased one for me, which is the second book in the Blood and Ash series. So that's an option, Alchemized. And then I think I have one more. Nope, Alchemized. Do I go for Alchemized? Does that feel November? Okay, let's put a pin in this one. We're gonna come back to it because it's either going to be Alchemized or the second book in the Blood and Ash series. I'm leaning towards the second one in Blood and Ash because I really need to get that one read. It's been over a year since I read from Blood and Ash. But I'm gonna put a pin in this and think about that, kind of based off of everything else that we pull. Let's go for the third one. Actually, this one's dark. I don't know if it's upside down. There we go. A sprayed edge book. We pulled this one last month. Okay, let's look at the cart. We have tons on this first shelf. Literally all of these. Study in Drowning, Sword Heart, Forbidden Alchemy, Alchemy of Secrets, Lost Apothecary, Immortal Consequences, On Wings of Blood, Binding 13. I also have Silver Cloak. Ooh, If We Were Villains. That's a tough one. Thinking about If We Were Villains. Another historical fiction that I've just been really wanting to read, and it's been on my shelf for a little bit too long, but I also want to read everything here. Like, all of these are highly anticipated. Oh, that's hard. I also really want to read A Study in Drowning. This is YA. This is like a enemies to lovers, historical fantasy, kind of gothic mystery. I also think it's dark academia. This is a good option. We've got options. I also still haven't read Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, which is a crime. Oh, there's so many good ones. What is my heart pulling me to? I think I've done a lot of fantasy this last month, so I think we should go for If We Were Villains. All right, second book chosen, If We Were Villains, sprayed edge book. If you don't know anything about this one, this actually tracks a group of 7 students, I believe. 7 students who are studying Shakespeare, and they're like Shakespearean actors. And the lines between the play and real life start to blur and people die. That's all I know. It's like this academic setting, it gets crazy, and it sounds really, really good. So this also just ticks off 2 books that have been on my shelf since last year, and I feel like that feels good. And looking at my shelf, I'm also realizing I wanted to pull Immortality. That's the other one I totally forgot. I was like, there was another one, Immortality of a Love Story. This is the second one to the Anatomy of a Love Story. I have to pick this one just because I was left on a cliffhanger and I have to continue it. I can't wait months to continue that. So we will not add that to the ones we're pulling from the jar, but I'm going to add that to the stack. All right, so that is 3 with the audiobook. Let's go for 4. Try and pull one from the bottom. Hopefully this is one we haven't pulled before. I think I can see it through the page. A black book. This gives us options. All right, I was kind of wanting to go for like some witchy themes in November. So I like have Cackle, but that's like a dark blue. I can do A Treachery of Swans, A Study in Drowning looks pretty black, Immortal Consequences. But let's flip this. Ooh, I was thinking Second Death of Locke. Does that count? That's kind of reddish, actually. It's like red and black. And then there is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is another one that I put off for a bit too long now. There's a couple of fall books I'm hoping to grab off here. This is another black one I put off for a little bit too long. Okay, I'm thinking between The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and An Education in Malice. This is one that has been on my shelf since last year as well. Deep in the Forgotten Hills of Massachusetts stands St. Perpetua's Woman College. Okay, we read this one last month. This one's like a witchy academic setting, sinister game of politics, bloodthirsty professors, and magic. Laura and Camilla must decide how much they are willing to sacrifice in their ruthless pursuit of knowledge. An ode to girlhood. That one does sound really good. And then I obviously have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which has been on my shelf for also far too long, and I do absolutely love V.E. Schwab's writing. France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. I already know this is going to be 5 stars. I already know it's going to be a banger, but do I go for the one that's been on my shelf for too long? I did want to read some witchy things, and this feels witchy and gothic to me. So let's go for An Education in Malice. I am picking ones that I was not expecting, and I'm quite proud of myself because I'm really kind of going against the grain here. So for a black book, An Education in Malice. I'm thinking about putting the audiobook one away and pulling another one because I don't know. I really want to save Alchemized for December, and I just don't know if I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's pull another one. This will be 5. Try to really go for one at the bottom here. Reread a book you loved. This is one that I actually added to the jar. However, I just have too much right now. I have too much in my race to the end of the year. So I make the rules. We're gonna put that one off to the side and we're gonna pull again. Just because, yeah, with the holidays and just the end of the year race, maybe when we bring in the new year, that will be a good time. A historical fiction. We pulled 2. We pulled 2, guys. We have pulled 2. We are not going to pull another one. I think those are the only 2 on my shelf anyway. On the jar. I'd have to go to the shelf outside. Let's try again. Ooh, a book with a map. Fun. All right, let's grab a fantasy. I'm already thinking about Silver Cloak. Look at that map. Look at that map. Oh, and I am really excited to read more by this author. She's the author that wrote Our Infinite Fates, but this is under a different pen name. I'm very excited. I think I'm also going to save Direbound for December. In the Veins of the Drowning. Does this have a map? Because I am dying to read this. No map. No map. Okay. Okay, Paladin's Grace. I'm also really excited to read. Is there a map? No. Let's look at A Forbidden Alchemy. Oh. A Forbidden Alchemy. It has a map. I was not expecting that. Ooh, I'm thinking we're going to go with this one. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. How exciting. All right, A Book with a Map, A Forbidden Alchemy. This is by Stacey McEwen. I follow her on Instagram. She cracks me up. She's like besties with Hannah Nicole Mayer, who wrote Assistant to the Villain, the Assistant series, which is so fun. They're just goofballs. I'm so excited to read this. I know nothing about it. It says, all Nina has ever wanted is to become an artisan. All Patrick seeks is a craftsman revolution. Will they choose their greatest desires or each other? I'm excited. This, I don't know, just the alchemy part of it sounds witchy, sounds November-y. I'm excited for this. All right, this would be the last one if we don't put the audiobook back, which I'm thinking about doing that. I wanted to pull a couple fall books. Oh, that was upside down. A book under 300 pages. Ooh, let's see if we can get one of these romance ones or one of these fall ones. And immediately I'm thinking Cackle. Come on, Cackle. Yes. Cackle has 288. I also have the Honey Witch. Nope, that's too many. I have a very regular Society of Witches. Nope, that's too many. And then the last one. People Watching, which is, it's gonna be, yep. All right, we have it. That was fast too. I know what I'm looking for. Cackle, A Book under 300 pages. I hear nothing but good things about this. This is by Rachel Harrison. This is perfectly witchy. It says a darkly funny, frightening novel about a young woman meeting a witch who might be too good to be true. This sounds like it's gonna be a very, very epic November read. Let's put the audio one back because I have 2 fall reads that I was really hoping to pull. So come on, come on. I think I'll get to Alchemized in December and then maybe even that second book from Blood and Ash as well. I can't remember the name of it. Come on, a romance or something. Is that upside down? Maybe? Ooh, a new release. Perfect. Perfect, 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 because I feel like that ticks People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This is very recent. This just came out. That totally counts, right? Like it doesn't need to come out this month. Perfect. All right. I'm feeling a bonus. What do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our 6. Right now with the series that I'm going to continue, we have 10. One of them is that short little powerless book or that powerful novella. All right, I put everything back on the TBR cart and I have 2 more that I was really hoping to get to. One was You Again by Kate Goldbeck. This is like a When Harry Met Sally, and I really want to read a When Harry Met Sally inspired book. And then The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, because I have the second one on the shelf as well. So I was kind of hoping to get to these. So let's pull one more. That'll be a bonus one. That'll be 11. Because I feel like we won't count the novella, right? That feels right. Yeah? What on earth? That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm going to free choice both of these. I'm going to free choice both of these. I'm going to be unhinged and free choice both of these. Am I shooting for the stars a little bit again? Yes. Yes. But I'm going to choose both of these. Free choice. The perfect fall lineup. All right, guys, I have put the books on my TBR shelf. I'm so excited. I am so excited. This is such a good November lineup. This is amazing. I'm definitely going to do my best to stick to this because this is an epic, epic, epic lineup. Chef's kiss. I'm so excited. I hope that you guys had as much fun as I did, and I hope I gave you some ideas for some good books that you could also add to your TBR in November. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future bookish content because I have so many fun things planned and new series that I'm starting. And if you would like to support this channel and join my little cozy special corner of the internet for the girlies and the guys, of course, be sure to check out my Patreon information in the description of the video. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next cozy vlog. Bye.